Hi, good morning. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 220. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and I'm so happy to see all of you here. I see lots of people are already here. I didn't mean to go a couple minutes early, but I got a notification on my phone and it popped the live button. So not sure how that works, but anyway, good morning everybody. Thanks for joining me live. If you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you have any questions for me. Let me know what you're working on. And if you watch the recorded version, please also feel welcome to say hello. And if you have a question, please ask it, and maybe I will even be able to share your question live on another episode. You may have noticed that we changed the name of the podcast today. The podcast has now been changed from Yarn on the Beach to Create, Share, Inspire, and it just allows me to have a little more freedom in what we talk about or what comes up in life. I feel so weird sometimes when I do the broadcast when something's come up and I can't be at the beach. So it makes me feel way more comfortable to call it something that is more broad in scope, and it doesn't mean anything else is going to change. It just means that when life happens and the stresses that come with life are normal, but there's just that added stress for me about the name that was really getting to me when things did come up. So now we'll just call it Create, Share, Inspire Podcast, and nothing else is going to change. So I hope everybody's okay with that name. And if you're not, sorry. It is what it is. Well, thanks, Lisa. I appreciate the support. Good morning from North Carolina. Thanks for joining live. Thank you, Nikki. I'm happy with the name too. I thought long and hard about all sorts of fun and silly and different names, and then I realized that this actually fit my brand a lot better. Thank you, everybody. My new top I was talking about. Oh, this is that new cardigan that I was talking about that I found it's in my Amazon shop. What I didn't realize when I was looking at it online is that it's t-shirt material. So it has a drape front. So what you see is that it comes to a point. It's almost like the fronts almost look like two triangular shawls, which is going to be an interesting component of the construction for when I think about recreating this silhouette in knitting and crochet. But if I step back a little bit, you can see that it's a drape front. Pretty simple in the back, just straightforward. Love the length as the cardigan on its own. It has long sleeves, okay? But I've been scrunching them up. It has a little bit of shirring at the collar, which gives it a little more drape in the front. But it is really light and stretchy t-shirt material. It comes in, I think, 30 different colors and prints, which I also love. It had some florals and some tie-dyed prints, every color you can think of. And the other thing that I loved about it is that because it's stretchy and t-shirt material, I can tie it in the front like this. But I want to also show you something. I've had that tied in the front for 2 hours now, not a wrinkle. So you can tie it up when you feel like it and untie it when you feel like it. And the best part of all, I believe this was $15 or less. This is the size large, which I am totally comfortable in. I don't think I would size down, and I don't think that I would size up. I'm happy with the large. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds, and the large fits me beautifully. It's not tight, it's not baggy, it's not anything. And now that I have the one in black, I want all of them. Seriously, I think it's just something you could wear over things that you've knit or crocheted already. You could, be great over a knit or crochet tank top. Any one of the tank tops that I wear here in the morning, I could wear this over it to cover up my arms. I could wear it over not just this dress, but any knit or crochet dress and tie it in the front. In fact, I love doing that with my knit and crochet dresses when I wear them. I always wear like my denim shirt tied in the front like that. So for me to find this in a denim-y kind of a blue or any of the prints that I think would go well with my crochet or knit dresses, or the lining that I wear underneath them, is going to be amazing. So I'm super happy about it and really excited to see how I can style handmade things with it as well. And I'm interested in the construction for making knit and crochet projects. Oh, it would look great with a maxi skirt. Yes, Lisa, especially tying it like this. And unlike, you know, wearing an actual crop top, you can adjust how loose or tight you want it. So for me, I don't want it too tight, right? I mean, you could, depending on, you could go higher and tie it. You can go lower and tie it. You can go in the middle and tie it. And then depending on how loose or how tight or loose you want it, you can adjust your knot and you're done. There, done. I feel so put together. It's kind of a cross between a cardigan and a blazer that way. And like I said, it's still warm here, so I'm rolling up my sleeves, but I am in love with it. Yeah, I have my flower pins in my hair today. This one is in Be So Fine Yarn $1 Million Red, and this one's in Be So Sporty Yarn Passionate Plum. The material, it's a blend of some kind. It's a stretchy t-shirt fabric. If you go to my Amazon shop, yes, it is long sleeved. It's long sleeved. You can find out all the information about it in my Amazon shop. It comes in a ton of sizes and a ton of colors. Elizabeth got hit on when she wore this dress. Uh-oh, is that good or bad? I suppose that could be a good or bad thing depending on who's doing the hitting on. I made a little bit of progress on my knit Zen shawl yesterday, and I think you can start to see my faux rainbow colorway is starting to manifest. So we've got crushed berries, tropical hot coral, calypso lime, and now I'm working on aloha blue. I didn't make any progress on my crochet one because I was really determined to finish this lace stripe in calypso lime yesterday. Thank you, Grace. I'm loving it too. It's going to be more of a scarf than a shawl, I think. It's going to be around 72 to 75 inches wide with long vertical stripes, and it'll be about 16 to 20 inches wide. So you could definitely wear it as a rectangular wrap or shawl, and you could definitely wear it as a voluminous wrap scarf, which I'm super excited about that for fall. That's okay, Grace. I think depending on how you style it, it can be both a shawl and a scarf. That is no trouble, especially once you consider adding a shawl pin to it. It can definitely be a shawl because then you can drape it and secure it. That would be beautiful. Yes, fall with boots, absolutely. I don't know if you're talking about this or this, but either one, yes. I'm going to buy a few more of these today. I'm so in love with the black and just think that there's going to be a lot of fun ways to... That's okay, Nikki. These would be beautiful on hats or clips too. Absolutely. Not everybody has thick enough hair to wear in your hair or the right length hair to wear hairpins. So you can definitely secure you could decorate your purse with one of these. You could decorate a cardigan with one of them or cluster them together like I've done. You could wear that on a cardigan, decorate a purse, or put it on a hat pin, either or on a hat. And that could even be a wintry hat or a summery hat. Donna wants to know what size my top is. I bought the large. It had a huge size range. I can't remember how little and large it got, but I remember that it was a very large size range. And so easy to wear. It's t-shirt material. So easy. And like I said, they had some prints too. Yeah, these would look adorable on the Jenny hat. Kimberly uses dry shampoo now to give her volume for her hair. That's great. I use dry shampoo too. Last night I put my hair in bobby pin buns for volume, and then when I took my hair down this morning, I added dry shampoo before trying to fluff it up to create some style. And it still went flat because it's the dead of summer here and we have incredibly high humidity, but it's still better than nothing. Yeah, the flower would be a wonderful gift. Absolutely. Yep, it could be used as a bow at the back of a ponytail or a braid. Thank you, Sherry. I like my haircut. I feel like I should have gone a little bit shorter, but I'm liking it nonetheless. Yeah, everybody has a typo day, Lisa. That's no big deal. We all have them. Whoa, Rebecca has so much hair it takes her an hour to fix it. Yikes. That's a lot of time. It's a lot of commitment too. If that was the case, I think I'd wear braids a lot. Thank you, Kimberly. Audrey says dry shampoo makes her head itch. Well, maybe it's the brand, or maybe it's not for you. Who knows? What color am I using now? Right now I am using Aloha Blue in Be So Fine yarn. Yeah, the scarf's going to be somewhere between 72 and 75 inches long because I want it to be the kind of scarf that you can wrap a couple of times and it can still drape low. Yeah, I won't be doing the podcast in Spanish. Sorry about that. My Spanish is not good enough to speak fluently all the time. I can understand things, but I don't have the confidence to speak it. Sorry about that. I have a lot of hair. Oh, I agree, Lily. When my hair's longer, I think it's easier to style it than when it's short. Lisa uses argan oil on her hair. Yeah, everybody has different kinds of hair, so there's different things that work depending on if you have a lot of hair, a little hair, curly hair, straight hair. It's amazing how many different ways. Thanks, Kara. I need someone to practice Spanish with, Rebecca. That's exactly what I need. I don't practice enough, because then when I do start to speak it, I get nervous. But I studied it for many, many years, and I do understand pretty well, but my confidence is just in the tank for speaking. And I think it has something to do with learning Hebrew by immersion when I lived in Israel. Ever since I learned Hebrew by immersion, my brain just, when I go to search for a word in my brain in Spanish, it comes out in Hebrew. So I'm not sure how the wires crossed in my brain, but I'm guessing all I need is to practice. Yeah, I definitely need more confidence in speaking, definitely. And that comes with practice, just like with anything else, right? Whether you're practicing being a better cook, practicing being a better knitter, a crocheter, a music player, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to get better at, it involves practice and not being tough on yourself. Absolutely. Yeah, whoever said 72 inches would be too long for you, yeah, because it works lengthwise, you could just cast on less stitches. Morning. You could just cast on less stitches and it would be fine. Beach Babe products are great for high humidity. Okay, good to know. I should just wear my hair straight. That's what I should do. The waves are so nice to listen to, and they're a little bit loud today. It's so nice. Yeah, we'll talk about the length of the scarf when we start talking about the pattern. Just have to get the samples finished first, but as soon as I do, then we can talk about how you would adjust the length for a shorter person, and it's just in how many stitches you cast on. It'll be a super easy discussion, but gotta finish them first so I can demonstrate and we can talk about it then. Moose Gal learned Spanish a long time ago too. Yep, there will be a knit and crochet pattern for these scarves. I just have to get the samples finished. I worked all day on it yesterday and it seems like it just, all I got was the green stripe done. Each one is going to have 5 colors, 5 stripes, and each one will use 5 tidbits of Be So Fine yarn. Thanks, Lily. I'm really excited about these colors too. They're not quite rainbow, but they're really festive and bright and remind me kind of a rainbow. Hello from Switzerland. Thanks for joining live. The tidbits are Be So Fine yarn and they're just a little over 200 yards a piece. Each one is approximately 1/3 of a ball of Be So Fine yarn. I should have the kit listed in my shop today. And then the patterns won't be up until the samples are done because I need photos. Thank you, Kara. I think it'd be a fun way to stretch it out a little bit so you can see more of it. So we did a lace stripe in the middle. What cardigan do I have on? This is a new cardigan from my Amazon shop. It's made out of t-shirt material. It has a drape front, which is fun to wear just as a drape front cardigan. But because it's t-shirt material, it's a great candidate for being able to tie it and wear it as a ballerina wrap top. And I think that that is just absolutely amazing to have a cardigan that can be so versatile. I mean, you can still do the other things you can do with cardigans too. Let's see. Something I used to do in high school was I wear my cardigan tied around my shoulders. You could probably still do that with this. Let's see. That's a little long. I don't know if I would actually do that with this one. But another way, which I see on Instagram all the time, is when girls wear cardigans just over their shoulders. That might be cute with this one. Oh yeah, it's stretchy, so it kind of sits up there. That doesn't look so bad. That looks nice, but I think my favorite 2 ways are to wear it regular. Will the tidbits be together as a group? Yeah, I'm gonna put together a group of 5 tidbits for a kit for these shawls. Hopefully I'll have that up later today. Thanks, Sherry. Oh, I thought about that too, Judy. This would make an amazing tank top, wouldn't it? Just in those colors. Just make the you just make 2 rectangles, one for the front, one for the back. I was thinking about that last night as I was knitting, thinking, my goodness, would that be a beautiful tank top or even a tank dress. Adorable. Yeah, make an adorable top. I agree. Good morning, Melissa. Yep, or a long sleeve sweater. Yeah, I think that it would, the stitches are so simple and the colors are so gorgeous. I think it would make a beautiful anything. However you wanted to drape this on your body, it would be gorgeous. I mean, anything. Which is another fun way to show you how to mix and match colors, right? Oh, I didn't bring the hanks of all the tidbits this morning. I'll do that, maybe I'll do that tomorrow, and we can talk about mixing and matching colors again. Yeah, once the kit is live, it'll make sense to bring that so everybody can take a look and really figure out which colors you want for your 5 colors for the shawl. And hopefully by then I'll have made a little more progress on the crochet one too. Maybe. Got a lot of work to do today. We'll see how much time I actually get to knit and crochet. Definitely in the parking lot later. And I only get like a row or 2 done here at the beach, so. Yeah, we can talk about fall colors for sure, absolutely. What shawl? I'm not sure what you mean, Moose Gal. You mean these? Yarn in the lot. I'm not sure what that means either. Hi Ashley, thanks for joining. How did I switch the colors over? Yeah, I'll talk more about that when we do the video tutorials for the projects too. I do a very simple change when I change colors in fine yarns, and that is, oh, parking in the lot, got it. Yarn in the lot when I knit and crochet in the parking lot, got it. Now I get it. When I change colors, depends on if I've used the color before, but when I'm starting a new color with thin yarns like this, I just loop the yarn over and work with the tail and the working yarn for 4 or 5 stitches, and then leave a little extra for weaving in a little bit at the end, and that's how I change colors. Everybody's different. Some people do not like the way other people change colors, and there may be a way that you prefer or you already use, but that's the way I change colors when I use thin yarns. When you use thicker yarns, you don't have as many liberties as with the different ways you can hide tails. Right now, I think I'm using a size 32 circular. This is either 32 or 36, but I also have, I also started this on 24-inch circulars, and it was fine on that too. I just, we had an accident with some needles earlier this week, and we stepped on them and broke them, so I had to switch needles in the middle of the project. That's so stressful when you have over 300 stitches on your needles to have to switch needles, but what are you going to do when you break your needles? You break your needles. Yeah, we stepped on a tip and smashed it. You know, with shoes, on cement. What are you going to do? Depending on how you wear it, it can be a scarf or a wrap or a shawl. It's going to be around 72 inches wide or so, and it's going to be about 18 inches or 72 inches long or so, and about 18 inches wide. So depending on how you decide to style it, you could use it as a shawl, a wrap, a scarf, or anything of that nature. Yes, Lisa, I will be making more bling yarn. Just waiting on some shipments of Be So Sporty yarn, Be So Fine bling yarn, and Be So Sporty bling yarn. Until they get here, I can't dye them, but I will be dyeing more of all 3 of those. Working on a few more colors in Be So Fine yarn right now. Bringing in a batch of, specifically right now, I'm bringing in a batch of Million Dollar Red. And then I will be bringing in a red shadow for the Shisugi Bond color collection, and it is beautiful. So it'll be Million Dollar Red with that black shadowing effect. It's really pretty. Somebody is a beginner knitter. This is definitely geared towards a beginner knitter. Also, the crochet version is also geared towards a beginner crocheter. Yeah, the reds are really pretty. They are. I'm working on them right now, so it should be a couple days before they're dry and ready to photograph and list in the shop. So here's the beginning of the crochet one, and I'm going to show you that length so you can understand why that 72 to 75 inch range is so important. It sounds long, but when you want to wrap a scarf like this, and imagine when this is a lot wider, how much volume this is going to bring. So once you want to wrap it around your neck and not have it tight on your neck, you can see how that really eats up a lot of that length. 72 to 75 inches sounds like a lot, but look at how much less it looks once you wrap it and drape it. So it ends up being a really important length for styling in this fashion. I think that I'm not quite sure on all 5 colors so far, but right now I started with Lilac Memories. I moved to Stormy Sea. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Pink Damask after this. And then I'm on the fence of whether or not I go to Ice Silver Fox and Chantilly Lakes, or if I move into Harbor Fog and Jaded Peacock. My heart is wanting to go from purple, blue, pink to green, so I think I might go back dark after I go light. So it would go purple, blue, pink, light green, dark green. So I think that's where I'm going with it. These two colors do complement each other so well, don't they? And that's the other thing that is really good about showing you all these colors, is so that you can see how they blend together. So if you're doing a 2-color project, you can go, hey, I like that, or ooh, that's definitely not for me. And sometimes it takes seeing colors knit and crocheted together in order for you to really get that vibe and understand if it's something that would work for you or not. So you can definitely see now, though, what I'm talking about with that length. This is an amazing length for doing this type of a wrap. A quick peek of, I don't know. Thanks, Lisa. All right. So back to this. I guess I misinterpreted, KB. I'm like, what? I'm giving sneak peeks. What? No, Kim, these won't be going in the gift book. They totally could, couldn't they? But the gift book is really focused around things that don't take long to make. And because these do take a while to make, I thought that it was not going to work for this particular volume of the Handmade Gifts book. Maybe a different volume could go into things that take longer to make, but for this first volume, I'm working on things that are quick. But yes, this would absolutely be an amazing gift, no question. Gift for yourself or somebody else. Thanks, Rebecca. Oh, Gabriella's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. 2 birthdays today. Thanks, Raina. These are the crochet flower pins that are patterns on my website. The small one is done in Be So Fine yarn in $1 Million Red colorway, and the large one is done in Passionate Plum in Be So Sporty yarn. Christine, your birthday too. Happy birthday. 3 birthdays. How exciting. Is this Virgo? Is this Virgo birthday season? I think so. I think it's Virgo birthday season. Which needles for crochet are they? Circular? The crochet? No, it doesn't need circulars for crochet. The crochet is just on a regular crochet hook. The knitting needles, I use circulars because it's over 300 stitches, and I feel more comfortable doing lots of stitches on larger needles. I happen to be using size 3 needles and crochet hooks for these projects, but you know, you may or may not feel comfortable with that depending on your personal tension, like we talked about yesterday. But I'm using a D3 crochet hook, 3.25 millimeter for the crochet wrap, scarf, whatever, and the knit one I'm using a size US 3, which is also 3.25 millimeter. How much will the knit scarf cost to make? It's going to be somewhere in the $50 to $60 range. Not including your knitting needles or crochet hooks if you already have them at home. Yeah, that's a good point, Elizabeth, and that's something that I've been wanting to address in some videos, is how to fix beginner mistakes. Because you're right, that is a big component, and in this lace stitch pattern, as I was doing it yesterday, I was, you know, fixing mistakes as I go, right? Because I dropped the stitch or I moved too quickly and something slipped off, and it reminded me of how terrifying that used to be when I didn't know what to do about it. So I definitely intend on showing how to fix some mistakes when we do these videos. Lisa's finger knitting. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, you can use lifelines too. Definitely you can use lifelines. For those of you that don't know what lifelines are, that's where you put a thread through all of your stitches on any given row so that if you make a mistake and have to unravel down, you can unravel to that lifeline instead of having to unravel all the way back down to the beginning. Yeah, that's a great tool to have as a beginner. Sometimes they're great, sometimes I personally don't use them, but that's just me. I mean, it's a great concept and it works for lots and lots of people. I'm pretty confident in my mistake fixing abilities. And I'm an obsessive counter, so I usually don't lose my stitch count, but I can see lots and lots of reasons why lifelines are good. Yeah, okay, so we can talk about lifelines, and I can even demo that when we do the tutorial videos. Good to know. See, isn't it great that we can all talk about things and figure out what needs to be taught? I think that's so amazing. Because as somebody who's not a beginner, sometimes I forget what needs to be taught. That's wonderful. What was that? I'm not purling at all in this project, actually. But maybe because the camera's reversed, it looks like I'm purling. I am just knitting. And then the stitch patterns for the crochet one are going to be easy too. I don't know if I mentioned that today or yesterday, but just like with the knit one, it's going to be, the first two colors are going to be one stitch pattern. The middle band is going to be a completely different stitch pattern, and then stripes 4 and 5 will still be this stitch pattern. So this is alternating rows of single crochet and rows of double crochet chain 1. And the reason I did it this way is because I do remember that as a beginner, it is incredibly difficult to figure out where your stitches are at the beginning and end of your rows. So I mentioned I found a new way to purl. I don't remember that. I don't remember saying that. Maybe it was somebody else. Yeah, it's really long. Oh, you live in Kansas, okay. I used a D3 crochet hook with Be So Fine yarn. So the thing is, especially when you're new to knitting and crochet, or new to crochet, it's incredibly difficult to figure out where the beginning and end of your rows are, and lots of beginners end up doing too many stitches or not enough, and their edges look like this. And so I thought a great way to help get practice and recognizing stitches is to do stitches that at the beginning of and the end of the row are way easier to recognize. And so by doing a mesh alternating with a solid stitch, I thought that this was going to be a lot easier for recognizing the beginning and end of the rows, which will help in keeping straight lines. Oh, that's great, Rav. Glad you like to crochet for so long. That's wonderful. So I haven't decided on the third color yet, which is why this is still sitting. And it's sitting, and I'm working on this while I think about that one. But it's going to be, you know, more of a lacier stitch pattern. Kind of like I did a different one in the middle here. Well, Dizzy Stitches, thanks for joining live. So glad you could make it. That's awesome. It is fun to join live because then we can all talk together. You can talk to everybody in the comments, and you can ask me questions live. And if I have an answer, I will give it to you. If I don't, we could always save it for another episode. I do love the question and answer aspect of our live pod stream though. Keeps me on my toes and I love it. I've been making a blanket in, I think single crochet, and you're getting sick of it? I missed it, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rav. I'm super excited about the colors in both of these wraps, and I'll tell you, it was incredibly difficult to pick 5 colors for just 2 wraps. I wanted to do, you know, all of them. So we'll have to do this again, I suppose. And I do have ideas for other wraps that would include 5 tidbits. Like we could do a sampler stitch pattern on either of these, and that would be really cool too. Letty, I don't know. I think that that's such a subjective word, whether you call yourself a beginner now, later, forever, never. I don't think it matters. I guess you know, you don't have to call yourself a beginner at all. Just call yourself a crafter, call yourself a knitter, a crocheter. Call yourself a maker, doesn't matter. Well, that's good, Elizabeth. Practice is good. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to pick colors. It's such an emotional choice, and depending on whatever mood you're in when you're looking at colors, sometimes different colors sing to you. Yeah, stitch markers are really helpful for the beginning and end of rows too, to make sure that you're getting the right stitch count. Because that's usually where I think most people make mistakes, is at the edges. So putting a stitch marker between, you know, the first and last 10 stitches of any given row helps you to keep those ends even. Lisa went from Afghans to clothing. Wonderful. I jumped in with making baby clothes when I first started to knit and crochet. Ah, I missed another big comment. Whoa, we went long today. It's 36 minutes. Holy smoke. Guess I haven't been looking at the clock. I guess I did get a lot of rows done too. I should have realized that. Anyway, all right, well, let's take a look at this magnificent view. Soak in the view and the sound of the waves for one more minute and set our intentions for the day. Thanks so much, everybody, for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise. Hope you enjoyed the sound of the waves, the scenery, chatting with me and everyone else here. Later today, I'll put up a blog post talking about all the things that we talked about today. So if you're looking for any of the links, you can find them there. I also have a ton of links in the video description below. So just about anything we've talked about is already there too if you're looking for it. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.